Hi. This is really difficult. Um, I feel very uncomfortable recording things, and there's an awful lot of pressure, and it kind of drives me crazy. And I talk too fast. I try to spit everything out right away and get to my point because I don't want to waste time or do too many personal anecdotes. Um, and that's difficult because if I'm doing a YouTube channel, then isn't that what I'm supposed to kind of be doing? So I'm gonna try to relax a little bit, um, which might involve me wiggling around a bit because it's kind of hard to get out of my own head and do this. So here goes. Today, I want to talk to you about soothing with borderline personality disorder. So, when you are in therapy, you do talk about different soothing techniques, and the two things that they mention is breathing techniques and grounding. Now, breathing didn't work for me, and so I don't remember all the different things that they said to do and the counting to go with it. And grounding, you take off your shoes and your socks and you become very aware of the ground beneath you and how that feels, and just materials, whether it's cold, warm, whatever. Um, so that's supposed to help you kind of break free of whatever is bothering you and help you work through that. That did not work for me. I felt like my therapist was kind of hokey for suggesting some of those things, and she said just try anything and everything. And I feel like in a lot of ways, you do have to find your own very specific way, and sometimes it even ties, I think, to what they said. So for me, my grounding is with a soft pillow and a fuzzy blanket, and so I think about, okay, this feels warm, this feels soft, this is safety, this is my happy place. So that really helps me relax. Candles. Candles is another good one, and that is one that I use different times. I try to save it for kind of special stress times, that then I just like put my face right over the candle and I'm like, oh yeah, that smells like Christmas, that feels good. So there's those different things. um, Nature, getting yourself out in nature. Something that I found is I need daily walks. If I do not have daily walks, I have a much harder time with life. So having that exercise feels good, but then also just watching the sunset or the sunrise and hearing the birds and feeling the breeze. It does a lot of healing to your soul, I think. Um, and crafts. That's another thing I use a lot. I sew, but then I also will do anything really. I like to work with felt, make bookmarks, and then recently started picking up modeling clay because I am studying for my GED, so I don't have any time to sew anymore right now, on top of being a mom and cleaning and working. Um, so I need something because otherwise I am I'm crumbling and I can't handle life. I need to be creative somehow. And say modeling clays that actually really appeals to that sensory need that a lot of people have. So it's kind of a dual thing. And the great thing about crafts, getting out in nature or being soothed by something physical, like a blanket, is that you don't have to think. You don't have to You don't have to completely disassociate yourself. You can still be overwhelmed, but slowly transition from that overwhelmed stress to relaxing. And different times when I'm curled up in bed, I'm on Pinterest. So there's this different things to also help distract, but that it's using your mind in some other creative way, something that makes you feel good. So whatever is that healthy thing that makes you feel good, to relieve that stress and anxiety so that you're not turning towards anything like substance abuse or putting yourself in a risky situation to deal with your stress. Now, something that Jordan Peterson has talked about, and heard from a couple other therapists, is it's kind of like a 2-year-old. People with borderline personality disorder can throw tantrums like a 2-year-old. And something that they don't mention, which is, I think, is a very good point that I put together, was that it's also like soothing a 2-year-old. You're probably neglected or abused as a child, and you never developed coping skills. So you still are that little child inside that needs to be loved, that needs to be hugged, that needs to feel safe. So, maybe you're finding yourself where you're an adult and you're completely overwhelmed that you can't adult today. You probably came from an abusive home, a neglecting home, or you just were not taught coping skills. So it's not too late to learn them. Through therapy and them telling me what they thought, then I was able to start getting in that mindset and exploring what worked for me. And a little bit of a note. So blankets and pillows are huge, comforts and almost loveys in a way for me. And there's been times that then something happens to the pillow. I wash it and it gets destroyed. And then you have to deal with that spiral of, holy crap, there goes that thing that meant so much to me and that I needed to rest easy. Now what do? And so there is object dependency, and you don't have to avoid object dependency. It can be a good thing because it's healthier than having dependency on a human. Shout out to Kayleen, my little sister, who has been that person that I have had that dependency on. And as we've talked about before, people won't be there at some point, and that's not fair to put them in that situation. So, but if you have an object, it can get lost, it can get destroyed somehow, and you need to be okay. There's been times where somebody has dropped my pillow on the floor, and I'm a germaphobe, and I have lost it in a really big way. So, you do need to kind of prepare yourself for the ups and downs that even that's going to bring. That there isn't anything permanently safe that you can be attached to. And that is okay. So there's the activities. There is objects, scents, those different things that can really help soothe and deal with anxiety. I think they are really important for you to find those different things in order to deal with things so that you can adult today and tomorrow. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.